We're live, and terrible time to go live because I don't like doing bad news. But I did feel like it was appropriate to report this. As you may or may not have heard, singer of Great White, Jack Russell, has passed away today. Um, it's always sad when someone dies, obviously. But I think this one for me was like a thing where I kind of knew this was coming. You know, sometimes it's somebody young and it's so unexpected, and it's always tragic when someone dies either way. But there's sometimes where you can kind of see it coming, and I felt like I could see this coming, similar to the drummer from the Scorpions, James Kotek. These were like the two rock stars that I've been the most worried about. Like I've just been there's something in me that said like these guys need help. Like we need to do something to help these guys. And it's just not getting done. That's why I wanted to have Jack on my show so bad. Cause I was like, I feel like I need to like reach out to him. I feel like I need to have him on my show. And I have to rewatch that interview because I don't remember. I feel like I asked him, how are you doing? How is your health? Is everything okay? Because I know he struggled with addiction issues. And I don't know if that was a piece of this or not. I'm not going to speculate. I don't know. And maybe it's irrelevant. Um, but it's obviously very tragic either way. And it looks like he actually retired from the road on July 17th of this year. He posted to my fans and friends, "It is with the heaviest of hearts that I must announce my retirement from the road. After recent diagnosis of Lewy body dementia and multiple system atrophy, MSA, I am unable to perform at the level I desire and at the level you deserve. Words cannot express my gratitude for the many years of memories, love, and support. Thank you for letting me live my dreams. You have made my life a wonder. Love, Jack." So that was on July 17th. And then today, this was posted on his Facebook. Um, Obviously, somebody that must have had his password or ran the page or whatever. And it says 8/15/2024, with tremendous sadness, we announce the loss of our beloved Jack Patrick Russell, father, husband, cousin, uncle, and friend. Jack passed peacefully in the presence of his wife, Heather Ann Russell, son, Matthew Hucko, cousin, Naomi Brashears Barber, and dear friends, Billy and Cheryl Pawalik. Pawak- Pawalkick. I'm sorry, I butchered that name. Powkick? I don't know. Details of a public memorial will be announced at a later date. Jack is loved and remembered for his sense of humor, exceptional zest for life, and unshakable contributions to rock and roll, where his legacy will forever thrive. His family asks for privacy at this time. At the request of Jack and his family, please refer to KL Doty at lemonsuckerstudio@gmail.com as a further point of contact on his behalf. So, if I think I understand this correctly, I think KL, I believe, is that not his co-author of his recent autobiography and also Chip's Enough wife? I could be wrong on that, but I believe that's who that is. Um, so you can send her emails, and that would be a contact. Just a tragedy, huge loss to the rock world. Was a fan of Great White for a long time, and I just remember even when I grew up in Seattle, and I remember they had that album. I think it's "Can't Get Here from There" or something like that. Anyways, I remember they played one of the songs on the radio, and remember, this is Seattle in the '90s. Okay, like this kind of music was not looked upon nicely in Seattle in the '90s. People hated, they call it hair metal or whatever. It was like a derogatory term, and they would not play these bands, especially the new music that was just unheard of. And they played their new song, Rollin' Stoned, and it was awesome. It was the coolest song. I love that song. And they would play it on Seattle rock radio. And that made me go out and I bought the CD. And I think the whole CD was decent, but especially that Rolling Stone song was just so good. They kind of revamped some of these bands in the '90s, tried to do like better deals so that they could still make new music and stuff. And um, yeah, that was cool. And then obviously, I mean, it's gonna be hard for people to not connect Great White to that tragic fire thing. And I think that was something that was discussed to death, which I didn't even bring it up in my interview with Jack. I'm sure I don't think I was supposed to either. I think they said, don't bring that up. And so of course I didn't. And cause there's really no point at that point. And I know that that Jack felt a lot of guilt for that. And that may have contributed to some of his addiction issues or just his overall life quality and the sadness that he felt and the guilt and all that. Even though, from what I understand, I don't think he was directly responsible. I feel like he's just the singer, and that's something like the management, the pyrotechnics, and things that would be something that the management or the stage people would be in charge of. I don't know. I don't know the whole story on that. I know there was a documentary. I should probably watch that. Obviously, that's a terrible thing. This is a terrible thing, but it just goes to show you, it reminds you that, life is precious, and especially never take your health for granted. And I just felt like I needed to reach out to Jack because I knew something, whether it was with his addiction or whether it was something, there was something going on with his health, and I was concerned for him. And I guess, sadly, my fears are justified. And it's just, it's just again a reminder to take care of yourself. That health is very precious. It's very important, because I know we all get busy with so many other things that we're concerned about, uh, whether it's your job or the economy, or how many downloads you're going to get on your podcast or whatever. That stuff is lesser importance than your health. Your health is number one. Take care of yourself. Take care of your health first. Then reach out. Fill your cup first. Then reach out and try to help other people and do things. Of course, the exception to that is if you have young kids, you got to take care of those kids first, even before yourself, I think. But um, yeah, just terrible tragedy. But I think we'll always, have the legacy of Jack's music. It'll be here forever. I mean, that's what's so cool about when you do, whether, what you could say about Jack as a person. I mean, I had him on my show. He was a pleasure on my show. I don't know what he was like behind the scenes. You could argue that and people could say things or whatever, but he left a legacy of music that, I mean, a lot of people were inspired by that music. And even to this day, people are still listening to that. And it gave a lot of people joy. And I know it gave me joy, like listening to that song, Rolling Stone, listen to Once Bitten, Twice Shy. I remember, like, I think it was the first date of me and my girlfriend. Like, I sang that song for karaoke, and she didn't know what it was. It made me feel old because I was like, "Oh, you don't know this song? I thought this was like a big hit," but she didn't know the song. And so I remember singing that, and then I had to teach her about Great White and hair metal and how great it is and all those things. So yeah, I mean, just, I'm sure so many people have so many stories of Great White's music and all the things that the good times and good memories that they have in Great White concerts. You know, good, I know there's the tragedy, obviously, which I've already mentioned. I'm not trying to dwell on that, but I mean, think of all the good concerts that they had. Think of all the good music that they had. I mean, just all the other musicians that have like interacted with them as a band, and how much good things there was, how many good things that he brought into this world. I definitely think he brought in more good than bad, and I think how I try to live my life. Like, I'm sure I bring in some bad things into the world that people don't like, but I try to bring in more good than bad. And I think Jack definitely did that. I mean, he brought in so much joy of music. I think music is really the one thing that can bring us all together. We argue and we have differences on so many things, and there's so much negativity in the world, but music is one thing where we can all go to a concert and be like, oh yeah, this is awesome, let's all rock out to this. So just a sad thing, but I hope that everybody's okay from this. And my condolences to his family, his friends, and all the fans. I'm sure there's a lot of mourning going on today. So um, yeah, just a terrible tragedy. But yeah, try to remember the good things. And yeah, just something to think about. Life is precious. Just remember that. Thanks for watching.